This is the source of all problems. The source of all problems is people's inability to not react. People are too reactive. And when they become reactive, they become slaves to the darkness. When you react too emotionally to something in a way that you don't want, you've already lost. You've been corrupted. You've been deceived. You lost your power and you became a slave. And the dark forces around you are going to feed more and more off of you, off of your reaction. They won and you lost when you reacted. You forgot your ability to not react and to maintain yourself intact, like the spirit, like your soul, which is perfect. This is what separates people. This is what separates the real ones and the ones that live like a slave or like a tyrant. A slave is always reacting. Their destiny is in other people's hands. Their destiny is in circumstances. He's not really deciding how he is going to live his life. That's what a slave is. Their energy is in other people's hands. Their emotions and their minds are in other people's hands. They don't control who they are, the very essence of who they are, their ability to remain intact and untouched in any situation. By the way, that's where happiness exists. People say, are you happy? Happy doesn't mean to be jumping up and down with the greatest smile on your face. That's different. It's just like being healthy, for instance. Do you think, like, when you're healthy and you're normal, do you think about it? Do you realize that? No, you only think about it when you're unhealthy. You only realize when you're unhealthy. Happiness is the same thing. When you're happy, you just are. You only realize when something is missing. When you're unhappy, that's when you realize it. And most people nowadays, they're unhappy. Why? Because they always need something else to fulfill something, a bottomless pit. They always need more reaction, more reactivity, more power, a thirst for power that never ends. They have never learned how to stop being a slave, how to stop being a tyrant, how to play. They never learn. We live in a world where we learn to either become a slave and give our energy away, or become a tyrant and play with people's energy. And we live our life within power games and systems of power. Everybody has forgot their essence, their perfect essence, which is inherently happy, the ability of just being. Just being. I don't need anything. I will get it if I want to. If my heart really says so, I will get it. I have all the tools, infinite resources to get it. But nothing, I'm not in the hands of anybody. Nobody can control me. I'm not a slave. My energy is not a slave to anybody. I'm directly connected to God. And that's how you see how someone is close to God or not. how they are being controlled. That's how you see it. Or how they are trying to control other people with power games, people that don't know better. So, in a situation of stress, stress is what separates people from somebody that is really closer to God and understands their infinite power to just be. They understand they're perfect in the eyes of God already. There's nothing to fix. Stress, a situation of stress and conflict, is where you either lose or you become a better person. And when you don't react, when you don't overreact emotionally and become too emotional, that's when you become a better person, because that's when you get closer and closer to God, who's perfection itself. God doesn't react like that. God doesn't play deceitful power games like a wolf in sheep's clothing. The point in your life where you become the best, where you become the cream of the crop, is the moment where everybody reacts and you don't. When everybody reacts and you don't, in the eye of the storm. And that proves how close you are to God. And that is what everybody's afraid of. The dark side, the disempowered, the slave side in that person is afraid of you, is afraid of your non-reactivity. So powerlessness, the more you're powerless, the more you're powerless and the more you're innocent and the more you don't react and the more you learn how to just be, the closer you are to perfection, the closer you are to God, the more you are connected to the true king and his true kingdom of God. And you stop being a slave or a tyrant that is going against your own the very truth about yourself, your own truth. The spirit is intact, so you are intact. The spirit is untouched, so you are untouched. The spirit is not afraid, so you don't become afraid. And you learn how to just be. And that's the most important thing you can learn, to not react and to really see things from a non-reactive lenses, because everyone else is playing a game that will never end. It's an illusion. They feel like they want more and more, but they're never satisfied, like a thirsty wolf. Never satisfied, but never really finding out who they truly are. The limitless identity of who they truly are. These are two very different ways to go through life. You either know who you are, you're either close to God and connected to the Creator on a moment-to-moment basis, immersed in your infinite capability of non-reaction and discernment, looking at things as they are, as they truly are. That's when your energy is really yours. That's when you are in control. All the rest is commentary. I don't care what it is. People are either giving themselves away and all their energy away, being a slave, or they are feeding off of people's energy, which makes them a tyrant. If there's one superpower, that is it. Don't react. Don't give your energy away to anybody. Things are going to work out perfectly for you if you live in this state. You become magnetic. You become powerful in the true sense of the word. And you attract and create whatever you want from a position of truth and not from Hunger Games. You see, you step out of the animalistic, the animal magnetism of simply being driven by desires and desires, sexual desires, impulsivity, ego, power games, judgment and resentment, overreacting like a little kid that has been corrupted already. This talks to all the energy points in your body get blocked. You can't be who you are. All your communication is wrong. You say things that are bad and evil and of a poor judgment and of a poor level. The words you use, they're chaotic. The things you see, your perception is chaotic. Your unification with people, your connection and compassion is chaotic. You don't have it. You judge people. You can't see things for what they are. Your true superpower is to just be. That's where you remove all shields. You remove your fake armors. You remove your attacks. That's where true power is, in powerlessness. Anybody can do whatever they want. I have an allegiance to God, allegiance to God, an alliance with God. I have a path. And from this position, a person stands out nowadays. But more than that, they can really make good decisions. And they don't put their destinies in anyone else's hands, nor they play with people. That's when your energy merges back to the Creator. That's where health exists. That's when you become healthy. That's when that's when you're happy. But most importantly, that's when you're truthful. That's when you're true. People only get sick because their energy's gone. People get sick because they're either a slave or a tyrant. They live through an unsustainable model, something that doesn't work. There's always that impulse for more, but impulsive and compulsive. Hunger Games. They feel, their cells feel corrupted. Their cells feel like they're in emergency. Or that ego, they feed off that traumatized ego that has to play with people or has to let people dominate them. Don't ever let anyone dominate you. Your power is in the powerlessness. They can do whatever they want. That has nothing to do with you. Does it? Truly? Does it? Learn how to just be. And that is the ultimate advantage. That's how you become the cream of the crop. That's how you get close to God.